In this video, I am breaking down my authentic sales story method. I'm going to teach you the 4-part framework to use to tell stories in a way that makes money without feeling gross. This is the exact structure that I have used to generate over $2 million in revenue. And today I'm going to show you how you can use it in your DMs, in your emails, on your sales pages, in your content, and so much more. Hi, my name is Michelle Knight. I'm a storytelling expert with over 10 years of experience with my company, Brand Mary. And the authentic sales story framework, so hard to say, includes the echo, the thread, the vision, and the path. By the end of this video, you're going to understand how to use all 4 parts to create stories that sell. Part 1 of this framework is called the echo, and this is where you are going to echo back the reality of your ideal customer. You're starting with their experience, not yours. This is where you get to make them feel seen, make them feel heard, and make them feel understood. This is typically done after the initial banner if you are creating something like a sales page, but this of course would be right out of the gate when you are sharing your content or sending a DM. I like to say that the sales copy really is a journey, starting with where they are to where they ultimately want to be. And so we need to have them feeling really grounded in where they are now to experience the full journey and get the full effect. So an example of this could be you're creating content but not making sale. This is the hook that lets them know that you understand them. It obviously pulls a little bit at their heartstrings or a specific struggle that they are experiencing, and it gets them to lock in. This section is all about ultimately hearing about themselves, but in your specific words. This is where market research and stuff is so critical and why we say it's a must-have in the buying process. Now, the next 2 parts I traditionally like to do in the order of the thread and the vision, but you can switch them. And so I like to share that with my clients. As long as you are being super strategic with how these flow together, you can put them in whichever order you prefer. But part 1 is a non-negotiable. So first, let's start with the thread piece. The thread is ultimately connecting you to them. You're going to be sharing your version of their struggles. This is a micro moment. This is not your entire life story. This is not your brand story. This is not only going to build trust because they're going to be able to say, oh, she totally does get it. She has been where I am. But it's also going to start to position you as the authority. And if you watched a video that I just did on the 3 types of stories that you want to have in your story selling content, you're going to recognize that this is a key part of the struggle and the transformation type of stories. The key here is to keep it really specific to the offer that you are talking about. One moment in time is what creates the connection and ultimately this thread. Now, for our purposes, we are going to call the vision part 3, but as I mentioned before, you can do the vision and then the thread if that feels more natural to you. So the vision is about painting a picture of what is possible for them. This is the part of storytelling that I absolutely love. I often refer to this as future casting as well. This one isn't about you. This is not about what you did. We already covered that. This is about what is possible for them. This is about what they could experience. Again, it's all about specificity. You're going to find that's a key part of strategic storytelling. This can't be fluffy. This has to be very specific details that your audience gravitates towards, that your audience says, yes, I absolutely want that. I need that. This is a top priority for me. So it's not, you can build a business or I built a business. It's imagine checking your email and seeing 3 new inquiries come in over the weekend from content that you posted last week. They really need to be able to see this transformation. So this is where you want to get descriptive and really paint a vivid picture for them. This is how they're going to step into that reality. And it's by them stepping into this reality that they will then take action. And I'm going to pause right there before I get to part 4 because I think this is an important conversation to be having in 2026. Paid marketing is out, but that doesn't mean that we don't need to connect with where they are now. Oftentimes, it is really hard for people to take action on where they are wanting to go. It's a lot easier to take action when they want to stop experiencing something. The pain, unfortunately, drives us to actually take action a heck of a lot faster. And so that's why we want to touch on the struggle, and we want to be very strategic about focusing on the relatability of it without telling them all the things that they're doing wrong. But this part right here, the vision, this is where the magic actually happens. This is when the wheels start to click into place. And this, when done right, is going to be what actually leads to the conversion, which then leads us to part 4, another non-negotiable. This absolutely needs to be part 4, and this is the path. You are literally presenting the path forward. This is the part of storytelling, and specifically storytelling in the sales process, that makes selling so freaking easy. And most entrepreneurs are missing this piece, which is why selling feels really icky to them. This is just a natural bridge to your offer. It's not buy now, it's are you ready for this path? Here it is. Here is your path forward. Here is your opportunity. An example is the framework that helped me do this is exactly what I teach inside of my program. This invitation should feel like the next step. If you are following the journey that I've just clearly outlined for you, this is the easiest part of the process. When my clients come to me and they're telling me that selling is a struggle, I know that it's not the actual pitch, it's the story leading up to the pitch. Because once you get the storytelling locked in, the pitch becomes super freaking easy and almost natural. And I know that might not sound possible to you right now because you freeze up every time you have to make the pitch, but I promise you, it gets to be simple. So the authentic sales story method can literally be used anywhere. You could use this in your DMs, making it just a simple paragraph, but following this same framework. This could be used in your emails during a launch or a promotional campaign. You could use this in a video, a promotional video, or even a YouTube video. You could use this on sales conversations. This is actually how this method started. I used to use this for my discovery calls back when I offered one-to-one services, and it helped me close 80% of my sales conversations. And it can also be used on your sales page. Now, obviously, on a sales page, you're going to have more details. It's going to vary in length, but this framework is still there. So when I come on YouTube or you see me on Instagram and I'm talking about using storytelling in every aspect of your marketing, even the sales process, this is exactly what I mean. So now you have the 4-part framework to write sales stories. But as I've already mentioned, storytelling happens in all aspects of your marketing, in every piece of content that you create. So I sat down and I recorded a video for you that shares the 3 main types of stories that you want to integrate into all of your digital marketing. It's a really, really juicy one, and you can go ahead and watch that here. And since you're watching this, I know you see the value in sharing stories online, creating more of a human element to marketing. So I also want to invite you to go ahead and grab my storytelling content super bundle. It includes over 2,900 storytelling prompts, hooks, templates, and scripts, and it's available for just $27. You can go ahead and get more details with the link below, but I will see you in this video next.